This is Aaron Tomberlin doing the motivational interviewing video, starting with patient number one. Hello, my name is Aaron. I'll be your nurse practitioner today. I'll be speaking with you. I hope you're able to find the office okay. So today we're going to be talking about you, what brings you in here. We're going to be discussing and I'm going to be asking questions, discussing family history, things like that. And it's going to take a little bit of time. I want to ask if you want to go ahead and go run to the restroom or if you would like some water to begin with. All right, so tell me what brings you in today. So I want to thank you for coming in today. It sounds like you've had a little bit of a hard time gathering up some energy since you said you're finding it bed. Tell me a little bit more. So it sounds like you were faced with some tough decisions to make when you were early in your life, but you're here now. And even though you're feeling down at this point, let's talk a little bit more about what brought you here so we can figure out what's really going on. So you said that you have two children that are going to be moving out or that have moved out and been married for um, a while now. Those are two great accomplishments that you've made that you've just told me about. So it sounds like with the changes that are going on at home and your husband going to the bars and drinking late have gotten you feeling down and a little bit less motivated than usual, and you feel like you and your husband says this that you just want to snap out of it. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. So what I'm hearing is that your children have um, moved away and that your son is now married to someone, your daughter-in-law, who spends a little bit more time with her family, and your son seems to be spending a little bit less time with you and your family, and that's leaving you to feel a little bit alone. So, what I want to do is touch more on these topics of relationship with your son and daughter-in-law, your relationship with your husband and him going to bars and drinking out and drinking late into the night, as well as these feelings of you feeling down and not motivated to get out of bed as we go along in the interview. That was patient number one. This is now patient number two. Hello, my name is Aaron, and I'll be your nurse practitioner speaking with you today. I hope you found the building okay. So, like I said, I'm going to be the nurse practitioner speaking with you. What I'm going to do is get to find out who you are, ask you some questions to figure out what's going on, and it might be you might find that it's a lot of questions, and I promise that it'll lead to a point. But first, I want to ask if you need any water or if you'd like to go to the restroom before we begin. All right. So, tell me about what's going on. Well, first, I want to thank you for coming into the office. It sounds like you have some stressors going on that can be very worrisome. Taking time out of your day to come here and speak with me, and I appreciate that. So, what I'm hearing is that you're having some financial stressors that you think, but there seems to be miscommunication between you and your husband about the nitty gritty details of your finances. Is that correct? Again, I want to thank you for coming into the office because it sounds like you've you've been coping with your financial issues by adding some alcohol to help you go to sleep, but it doesn't sound like you are happy with the way you're coping right now. And it seems like it bothers you when your daughter finds you on the couch at night and takes you to bed. Um, Tell me a little bit more about what's going on in your situation. So it sounds like you love your son a lot, and in addition to the stressors that we have previously talked about, you're also a little worried about him gaining his independence. So, with your financial stressors in mind, you're also worried about what's going on with your family and how your family dynamics are, and in addition with your son and him dating someone else. And it sounds like you are committed to figuring out ways of dealing with these stressors that you've been presented with. And I'm interested in going throughout this interview, exploring different options that we may have for you, and see what you're feeling. All right. This is patient number 3. Hello, I'm Aaron. I'll be your nurse practitioner speaking with you today. I hope you're able to. It's okay. So, during our time together, I'm going to be asking you a series of questions, and they're really to get to know you a little bit better and to see what's going on with your situation. And before we begin, would you like to run to the restroom, or would you like a bottle of water? All right. So, tell me what brings you in today. So I appreciate you coming to the office today because it sounds like you gathered up a lot of strength to come and be able to sit here and talk with me. I appreciate that. So it sounds like you've had to make some tough decisions here recently, and decisions it is started to impact your business financially, and you're worried about your finances. So, you had an episode where you were leaving your house one day and you started experiencing some chest pain. You started breathing heavy, your heart started pounding, and this became bad enough to where you turned around to go back home and found that the symptoms kind of went away when you got home. So now, in order to avoid feeling the beating heart rate and the heavy breathing, you stay at home and manage your business electronically through phone and email and fax machine. Is that correct? Well, I appreciate your honesty with telling me about your alcohol consumption. So what I'm hearing is that in addition to staying in order to avoid those bad feelings of your racing heartbeat and um, heavy breathing, you also drink 12 cans of beer a day. Okay. Well, it sounds like you love your wife very much, and that your love for her brought you here to discuss a lot of the stressors that are going on in your. Um, I appreciate you being so open with me, and as we move forward through the interview, I really want to talk about the event that uh, made you feel like you were, as you said, fixing to die. I'd like to explore that as well as some of the coping mechanisms that you're using to see if you would be open to some other possibilities of coping. All right.